So it's Saturday. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning out here in the Valley of the Sun, looking down the barrel, as they say, of another awkwardly hot day today, like 115 degrees, which is really hot. So it's going to be a good day to either splash around in the pool or sit in the air conditioning, do a little creative, maybe take a ride with the air conditioning on. My point is it's time to unplug. You know, we're way connected, aren't we, in our world? We have all the tools, right? We have all the things that we need to stay connected. We've got our cell phones, we've got our laptops, we've got our iPads. We have all of this connectivity going on, and it's kind of like addictive to stay connected, to stay on Facebook, to do all these things. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's really a good thing to like unplug. Like, how about you go 24 hours? Right now it's 10:07 in the morning on the West Coast. Which means it's what, 1:07 in the afternoon on the East Coast of the USA. I'm going to challenge you to take 24 off. Okay, maybe it's today, maybe it's tomorrow. Sundays are really a good day to take off. You know, that's the Sabbath. I think it's one of the 10 commandments, right? You wouldn't kill, you don't covet your neighbor's spouse. So why would you blow off and go to work on the Sabbath? It's one of the 10 commandments, actually. So what I'm thinking then is, like, I'm going to unplug. I'm going to unplug. I'm going to shut everything off. And but I'll be back. I will be back tomorrow. And the reason is, even though it's a Sabbath and I'd like to stay unplugged for a day or two, I will be back because I made a promise to myself, okay, first and foremost, that I would do 100 videos in 100 days. And I made a pledge to some of the people I work with in out there in the internet world that I was going to do this 100 videos in 100 days. And so I'm going to continue doing them. But this concept of unplugging, just unplug, okay? Turn off the phone. I remember last Christmas, one of the big companies, I think it was AT&T, one of the things they had a TV commercial and they said, for this Christmas, give yourself the present of presents. You know, unplug, turn off the telephone, shut off the computers, and be with your family, be with the ones that you love. Spend some time in, you know, doing something different. Because, you know, this is like an addiction when you get going with the social media and on Facebook. As a matter of fact, yesterday I was on a training with Susan, and Susan will be joining us on Tuesday. It's the last Tuesday in July. And for those of you who are interested, this is a free webinar. Susan is a remarkable, remarkable woman. She's from Saskatchewan, and she's going to be coming to us at trafficweblive.net. Go ahead. There's nothing for sale there. Weblive.net. Write it down. Trafficweblive.net. Well, Susan is going to be coming. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. And she's going to be talking about the power of video. Now, on the registration page at trafficweblive.net, I referenced her as like a very influential, world-renowned YouTube expert. It's really more about video, though. It isn't so much YouTube. I think I'm going to have to go back in there and change that title because it's really about video. And there are other platforms right now besides YouTube that you can shoot video. But what she's doing is going to be teaching us about the power of video and how it really can enhance your results, whatever it is that you're looking to achieve in your marketing or in your social media using video. As a matter of fact, it was a couple of weeks ago when we were the power of one of the email giants mentioned the fact that email isn't going away. However, there is some change going on and you have to include video in your emailing. And so this idea of video is not going away. I mentioned this the other day in one of my daily video shoots. So on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern at trafficweblive.net, you can meet Susan. But my point, before I got off track here, is yesterday I was on a private training with Susan, and she was talking about some Facebook stuff that she does. And I will tell you that I've avoided Facebook like the plague, literally, for many, many years. I thought it was the biggest time waster in the history of the world. I wasn't really getting it, you know. I wasn't really interested in all of this nonsensical stuff. Certainly now in the political season, it can be very, very nightmarish. Well, yesterday she was talking about Facebook and about what a robust tool it is, and she was giving us some insight into the algorithms and what Facebook does behind the scenes to track you and to connect you with other people. And it was enlightening. And she talked about, you know, she will go, excuse me, she will go on Facebook for 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes. She'll spend 5 minutes. In those 5 minutes, she's able to connect with people, you know, give likes, give the appropriate connections in the communication that really builds a powerful network of individuals who are really connected on Facebook. It was really, really enlightening for me because, again, I've kind of like avoided Facebook for so long. But so here's what I'm going to recommend you guys do. Back to the topic of today. Unplug. Pick a 24-hour window. Pick a 24-hour window and see what it's like when you can disconnect. No cell phone, no laptop, no desktop, no Snapchat, no Twitter, no Facebook, no email. Just shut it off. Like caveman days. Shut it off. Just shut it off and watch what happens. You know, I recently had a conversation with a friend of mine who went to a retreat. She went to some retreat somewhere in the world. And part of the retreat was 5 days. And I think it was silence. 5 days of like just, you know, taking care of the soul, taking care of the spirit. And she said what she did is part of the requirements was no social media, no cell phones, no nothing. They had to check it at the door. They had to leave it alone. And she said the first day was just frightening. The first day was like, oh my goodness, I don't have my cell phone. I don't have Facebook. What am I going to do? And she said by the second, third day, it got to be really, really cool. And it felt good to be disconnected. And when she was finally, when she had completed her time in this retreat, she was able to get back on social media. And she said she kind of dreaded it. She didn't really, you know, it was really like, oh boy, I got to get back into that nightmare, quite frankly. I also saw an article not long ago about a guy who was a writer, and his beat was social media and electronic media. And he was from France, and he wasn't a conehead. You know, the coneheads, they weren't really from France. Remember the coneheads on Saturday Night Live? They weren't really from France. But this guy came from France, and here was the experiment. The experiment was he was going to go from France to New York City. And when he got off the plane in New York City, no social media, nothing whatsoever, not even a cell phone. He had to use payphones. And at the same time, he was reporting back on his journey and on his findings back to the newspaper or the outfit, okay, the media outlet that he was representing in doing this experiment. He actually had to write them